What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. In my last video where I talked about the convenience of a PC versus a console, I came up with the conclusion that a PC is more convenient. If you make 3 changes and you want the console-like experience, you can get that same, functionality. Basically, somebody pushes a button, it will turn on the PC, take you to your games. You can basically do that by setting up 3 checkboxes. You can mod games. You can basically put all your games as much as you like in one place, and you don't have to worry about controller swaps. If you like the Xbox controller, you can use whichever of them you want to use, even previous generations. If you like the PlayStation controller, you can use any of them without having to go to another device. So that convenience factor starts to stack as you go on. You can multitask, get 2 monitors. You can do, all kinds of crazy stuff on your PC. And then it starts to become useful and easier as you just decide this is what I want to do with it, because it's already been designed over the years by, highly paid software engineers to basically make the system and your operating system as useful as possible for you. Now, to that effect, I got a comment, and I think it's tongue-in-cheek. In fact, I hearted the comment because I thought it was very interesting. This person said, how do I install an antivirus on my PS5? How do I install the latest drivers? How do I turn off BitLocker? All these great PC features are missing on console. So I hearted the comment because I was like, well, good, nice one, because it's a nice reverse way of saying there's a lot more in terms of complexity that you have to deal with when it comes to a PC. I think this is more perception than reality, and I've said this many times in my videos because a lot of folk are not really aware that some of these things, like how you install an antivirus, is an archaic question for the most part, simply because Windows has a security feature that already comes with Windows 11. In fact, that security feature was in Windows 10, where you had what's called Windows Defender that did a really decent job, in my opinion, to keep you from any of these virus crap. Another really interesting thing that many people are not really talking about in today's day is, if you actually think about it, the latest and the newest way for this antivirus thing to happen is no longer by putting some malware on your computer precisely. It's actually by stealing your information or getting access to your data. Something that PlayStation and even sometimes any kind of publisher that you give your information to has failed at. I mean, PlayStation is the company right now with the most recent biggest hack where even their own developers got hacked. So if you're asking about installing antivirus, you should be asking Sony that question, not me on YouTube over here. So again, this is the kind of stuff that people say from the perspective of maybe not understanding how the PC platform works, anything outside of maybe schoolwork or work, that they come out and say, how do I turn off BitLocker encryption? Bro, BitLocker encryption is a security feature for anyone, corporation, or owner of the device that does not want anybody else using that device. They add that on there. Why would you want to turn off BitLocker encryption if you turned it on in the first place? I mean, that's a silly question, unless maybe you have a work or school or administrative or academic device that doesn't belong to you, that the IT team put BitLocker encryption so you didn't go start using it for all kinds of madness. And now it's basically, secured from the, organization, and they need administrative access to unlock it for you. This is a very interesting question that you're asking on a gaming channel, and it's a little scary if you know the implications. So those of you who know anything about what I just said, you're probably scratching your head going, that's so weird. And then this person said all these great PC features are missing on console. Well, your console, in terms of drivers, because that was the second question. In fact, let me point out the second question. I wanted to make sure that we answered the other ones, and then we went to the final question. So this question was, how do I install the latest drivers? You see, many of the console players don't know that their consoles actually do install drivers. When your PlayStation 5 tells you that your PlayStation 5 controller has a new update, what do you think is being installed on there? Whenever your PlayStation 5 console or even PlayStation 4 console tells you that there's an update, what do you think the update's actually installing? I mean, have you ever bothered to see what's being installed on that, update? You've never really paid attention. Those are driver updates. The same, just as is available on console. Let me show you real quick. So this computer is an AMD-based computer. It's an AMD-based PC, and it uses AMD Adrenalin for the GPU interface. The GPU interface allows for you to be able to simply come in and just, highlight if you want your updates to download automatically. So here in the settings, it basically starts from beginning and says, check for updates, automatic. I can say no, do it manually, where I actually come in and manually do it, or I could just say automatically do it. That's one checkbox. I can also ask it to automatically download the drivers if I want. So I enabled it and it just automatically downloads a driver and waits there and then informs me, just like your PlayStation would inform you, you have an update. If you want to update, click now or ignore it. Very simple process. In terms of Windows, a lot of people make it seem like Windows updates will kill you. You can just search updates and it will take you straight to your Windows updates. And in that Windows update menu, you can actually say, I want this to actually get the latest update as soon as possible. In my case, I do not let it do that. I want to make sure I put the update myself. But if I wanted, I could turn this on and my updates will automatically download. So if this was a question that you were trying to resolve and maybe you were trying to find the answer to this, well, I'm glad you asked, because it's apparently just 2 checkboxes depending on the case use. In fact, with NVIDIA GPUs, it's 1 checkbox on automatically downloading your driver updates if you want. So again, most people coming from console, I understand that, you want to justify the platform that you are playing on. My deal is not to, basically tell you that you did anything wrong in getting a console. I have my console. I have my PS5, I have my Series X. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying that in terms of gaming, especially today with the advancement of gaming hardware, the cost, benefit of gaming hardware compared to these companies that bill you to play online. Do you see how absurd that is? That a company is billing you to play on the internet that you already paid for. They're billing you more for games that are less expensive on the PC platform. Not because their 30% share is not enough for them or something, but because they want their 30% share in a sense to be higher. Or maybe there's some license agreement that they're basically putting out there that only, we know not what the license agreements are. But at the end of the day, it's always good to talk about, better options. And if you're interested, you engage in those better options. All of this petty squabbling and, side talking and, being sarcastic or sardonic about things, it's not really helping, because what happens, a lot of folk make themselves look really, really foolish in the grand scheme of things, trying to see maybe you can own somebody. You've now owned yourself and put yourself in a really precarious situation. That's why I hid your user tag. That's why I didn't want anybody to see who your username was. And I just highlighted the comment because, man, stuff like this, we see it all the time where people try to come in and they want to maybe prove that, there's something that they know when they're not arguing in good faith. They're not arguing from a position of information. They're arguing from a position of ignorance, and not just ignorance, but willful ignorance. And they want to own you in a sense, like, you're doing something wrong when they haven't actually weighed what's going on. Perhaps it's my voice, perhaps it's my face, and I'm not the most easily likable person. Maybe that's what it is. But, the facts are the facts. It could be coming out of the butt of a donkey, and if it could be the fact, and if it's the facts, then we have to face the facts, right? But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in another video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.